Good morning, students. In last lecture of economics, we have done national income by income method. Again, I am repeating national income. This is chapter number 9, I think. By income method. When we are calculating national income by income method, we have to take only factor incomes in consideration, and factor incomes are, first one is rent, which we are paying to land. Second one is rent, then interest, which we are paying to capital, means machineries, or loan we are taking from bank. Then third, wages, which we are paying to labor. Here labor means working population. If we classify wages deeply, then wages, salary, remuneration, all are same, but particularly here for calculating national income we are taking one word, that is wages. Then fourth is a profit, which we are paying to entrepreneur. And fifth, that is not given in your textbook, that is called mixed income. Mixed income, this is the income of self-employed person. In case of self-employed person, whatever they are earning, we cannot classify, we cannot distribute his income in the form of rent, interest, wages or profit. That's why it is called mixed income. Means mixed income includes all these four incomes. After adding these five items, we will get net domestic product at factor cost. In short, it is called NDPFC. Now, DP here means domestic product. Why it is called domestic product? Because this is the income earned by various or different factors of production within the geographical boundary of a particular country. Factors of productions. Whatever different factors of productions are providing services, in return they are getting factor income, but they are earning with these factors of production we are taking within the geographical boundary of the country. That's why it is called domestic product. Why it is called net? Here either we can use G, means gross, or sometimes N. In case of income method we have to use N means net and G means gross. So why we are using net? In second topic, in second method, it is cleared. Right now you have to write net, N-E-T, net. Net domestic product, factor cost, because factor cost means cost or expense incurred on factors of production. And for these factors of production, this is called income, and amount spent on factors of production is called factor cost. That's why factor cost is added. Here N, instead of N we can write N or G. Either net is written or G is written. Net means, N means net, G means gross. Here first letter, try to understand. First letter we are writing here N. Either N is written or G is written. N means net, G means gross. Now what is the meaning of gross and what is the meaning of net? We will discuss in second method. Then here it is clear that when we have to use G, when we have to use net. Then DP, domestic product, means domestic income, because here all factors of productions are earning income within the geographical boundary of country. That's why we are using domestic product. Here either DP word is used, or NP. DP means domestic product, or NP means national product, or domestic income, national income. And third one is factor cost. Here either we have to use factor cost or market price. So here income, we are paying amount to all factors of income, and whatever income earned by factors of production is called factor cost. That's why we are using factor cost. NDPFC. After getting NDPFC, means after getting net domestic product at factor cost, if we add net factor income from abroad, net factor income from abroad, we will get n remains n. Now dp becomes np, and factor cost remain factor cost, means it becomes nnpfc. So ndpfc plus net factor income from abroad. Now what is net factor income from abroad? Here net means difference of two income. Which two income? One is income earned from abroad. For example, this is India, this is America. The individuals, the citizens which are residing in America, their economic interest is in America. Economic interest means they are working in America but sending their income to India. Suppose India is receiving 5,000 rupees. Similarly, various American citizens are residing in India, working in India but sending their income to America, and they are sending suppose 4,000 rupees. So difference is these two, 5,000 we are receiving and 4,000 is outgoing from India, means net income from abroad is 1,000 rupees. It means net income from abroad is the difference of income from abroad and income to abroad. Income from abroad and income to abroad. Difference of these two is called net income from abroad. So here net means difference. So when we add net factor income, remember one point, we are taking factor income, means only factor income. These are also factor income. These are factor income of domestic country, domestic earned within the geographical boundary, and this factor income we are earning from abroad. But only factor income is to be taken. So when we add net factor income from abroad in NDPFC, we will get NNP. DP is converted into NP. Net remains same, N factor cost remains same, factor cost, only DP is changed. DP is converted into NP. This is the income method. In this way we can calculate national income. It means the actual meaning of national income. I have already told you there are various terms used for calculating national income. For example, GDP, MP, GDP, FC, GNP, MP, GNP, FC, NDP, MP, NNP, MP, NDP, FC, NDP, MP, sorry, NNP, FC. So various terms are there for calculating national income. But actual meaning of national income is NNPFC, means net national product or national income at factor cost. Net national product at factor cost is the actual national income. But we can calculate national income at different levels. That's why different terms are used. GDP, GNP. Two types of cost are there: market price, factor cost, market price, factor cost. Same NDP market price, NDP factor cost. NNP market price, NNP factor cost. So different means we can calculate national income at different levels. Right now, first method is income method. In income method only, the income earned by factors of production either within the geographical boundary of country or outside the boundary, both will be taken. First of all, the income earned by factors of production within the geographical boundary of country, that is called rent, interest, wages, profit, mixed income. Addition of these, all these factors of production becomes, this is domestic income. That's why domestic product is used. Net is used, and why net is used in second method it is clear. But right now remember net we have to use at factor cost because these incomes we are paying to factors of production, and whatever we are paying to factors of production, that is called factor cost. It means it becomes NDPFC in short. For net, N domestic product, DP, and factor cost, FC. When we add net factor income from abroad, means in short NFIA, net factor income from abroad, N remains same, domestic product is converted into national product NP, and factor cost remains factor cost. It becomes NNP-FC. NNP-FC. In this way, we are calculating national income. So it means one formula is cleared, that DP means domestic product plus NFIA is equal to NP. DP, when we are adding NFIA, it becomes NP. So DP plus NFIA means net factor income from abroad. And what is net factor income from abroad? Income from abroad and income to abroad. Difference of these two is called net factor income from abroad. So one formula, write down separately: DP plus domestic product plus net factor income from abroad is equal to NP. Whenever we are adding NFIA in DP, DP is converted into NP. Three terms are there in one formula. One is gross or net. Second one is DP or NP, and third one is NP, and third term is factor cost or market price. So we have to understand when we have to write G or N, when we have to write DP or NP, when we have to write FC or MP. Now one relation I had cleared, DP and NP. When we add net factor income from abroad in DP, means domestic product, it becomes NP. DP plus NFIA is equal to NP. This is note number 1. Note number 1. DP plus NFIA. Out of these three terms, one concept is cleared. DP plus NFIA is equal to NP. Or another term, another way, NP minus NFIA is equal to DP. DP plus NFIA is equal to NP. NP minus NFIA is equal to DP. The first method, national income according to income method, is completed. Now second, national income by income method. Rent, interest, wages, profit, mixed income, completed. The first point, rent, once again national income by income method, rent plus interest plus wages plus profit. Rent we are paying to land, interest we are paying to capital, wages we are paying to labor, and profit we are paying to entrepreneur. And another is mixed income. After adding all these factor income, we will get net domestic product at factor cost, means NDPFC. After getting NDPFC, if we add net factor income from abroad, it becomes NNPFC, means N remains same, N. Only DP is converted into NP, means when we add NFIA in DP, it becomes NP. So DP is changed into NP. Factor cost remains factor cost. Now second method, that is production method. But before starting production method, one more concept I want to clear to you. We have already studied that only factor income is included in national income. In the same way, second point, only value of Now before starting second method, try to understand this theory or concept. Only monetary value of finished goods. Only monetary value of finished goods are taken for calculating national income. Only monetary value of which goods? Finished goods. Finished goods is also known as final goods. So only monetary value of finished goods are taken for calculating national income. Now if we are taking finished goods, so what is the another goods? There are two types of goods. One is intermediate goods, and other is finished goods. Now first of all, what is intermediate goods, and second, what is finished goods? While we are calculating national income, we have to take only the value of finished goods or final goods. It means we are not required to take the value of intermediate goods. Means intermediate goods is not included in national income. Why the value of intermediate goods is not included in national income? In order to avoid double counting. Now two questions are there. What is intermediate goods and why it is not included in national income, and what is double counting? Now try to understand this theory with this example. Suppose there are three firms, three individuals are there, which are also known as working population. One is farmer, second we are taking sugar mills, and third one is the industry which are producing biscuits. Means in simple language I am writing here, biscuits producing industries. Now we are assuming that total in an economy, in a country, three individuals are living. Three individuals means three working population. Those who are working, those who are involved in economic activities, those who are earning something. We are assuming that three individuals are living, three working populations are living in an economy. Now farmer has produced sugar cane. Farmer has produced sugar cane in 1 year, and the value, monetary value of sugar cane is suppose 1 lakh rupees. Now side by side we try to calculate national income. Now how much income earned by this farmer? 1 lakh. By first person 1 lakh rupees. What is national income? Income of all individuals. So here we are taking the income of farmer 1 lakh rupees. Now second point, this farmer has sold sugar cane of 1 lakh rupees to sugar mills. This farmer has sold sugar cane of 1 lakh rupees to sugar mills. This is sugar cane. With the help of those sugar cane, with the help of that sugar cane, they are producing sugar. Sugar of how much? Suppose 3 lakh rupees. It means the second individual has earned 3 lakh rupees. Now, after producing sugar of 3 lakh rupees, this industry has sold sugar of 3 lakh rupees to biscuit producing company. They had purchased sugar of 3 lakh, and by those sugar, this industry has produced biscuits, pastry, cake of rupees 7 lakh. It means this industry, third industry, has earned 7 lakh rupees. It means 7 lakh. It means our total national income is 7 plus 3, 10 plus 1, 11 lakh rupees. Once again, try to understand this concept. First of all, we are assuming, then we are able to understand second method if we understand this concept. What is intermediate goods? what is final goods, why intermediate goods is not taken in national income, what is double counting, how to avoid double counting. Before understanding this theory portion, try to understand this example. In an economy, in a country, we are assuming that total there are three working population. One is farmer, one is sugar mill, and third one is biscuits or pastry, means confectionery. This is called confectionery. Confectionery producing industry. Farmer has, in 1 year, farmer has produced sugar cane of 1 lakh rupees. It means income earned by farmer is 1 lakh rupees. Here, first person has earned 1 lakh rupees. Now this farmer has sold sugar cane of 1 lakh rupees to sugar mill. Sugar mill has produced sugar of 3 lakh rupees with the help of 1 lakh rupees of sugar cane. It means income earned by sugar mill is 3 lakh rupees. So second person has earned 3 lakh rupees. Then after producing sugar, sugar mill has sold this sugar to biscuits producing industry or confectionery industries. This confectionery industries or biscuit producing industries has produced biscuits, pastry, cake of 7 lakh rupees. It means income earned by third industry is 7 lakh. Here we are adding 7 lakh rupees. Means total income earned by these three sectors, these three individual is 1 lakh, 3 lakh, 7 lakh, 11 lakh. It means this is our national income, right? But this national income is wrong. This is wrong national income. Why? Now again try to understand once again. This farmer has produced sugar of 1 lakh rupees. Now we try to calculate true national income, correct national income. This farmer has produced sugar cane of 1 lakh rupees, means first person has earned 1 lakh rupees. After that, this sugar cane has been sold to sugar mill. This is called this 1 lakh rupees, and sugar mill has produced sugar of 3 lakh. In this 3 lakh, 1 lakh rupees is also included, because here we have given total income, total sugar produced by the sugar mill, 3 lakh rupees. They had produced sugar of 3 lakh rupees. It means in 3 lakh, 1 lakh is also included. This 1 lakh rupees of sugar cane is called intermediate goods. Now what is intermediate goods? Any goods which is not satisfying our wants directly. Here this sugar cane is used for further production. Sugar cane is used for further production. Further production means sugar cane is used for producing sugar. So whenever any goods which is used for further production is called intermediate goods. First of all, definition. What is intermediate goods? Intermediate goods are those goods which are used for further production. That is called intermediate goods. So in this example, for sugar mills, sugar cane is intermediate goods. And whatever total goods is produced by sugar mill, means 3 lakh rupees. In this 3 lakh rupees, 1 lakh rupees is also included. So first of all, what we have to do? Out of 3 lakh, we have to deduct 1 lakh rupees, which is called intermediate goods. It means actual income earned by sugar mill is 2 lakh rupees. Now second person is earning 2 lakh rupees. So here we have deducted intermediate goods. Now third, the total sugar which is of 3 lakh now sold to biscuit producing company, and biscuit producing company has produced total biscuits of 7 lakh rupees. And in this 7 lakh rupees, 3 lakh rupees is also included. If we take 7 lakh rupees here, so what happens? This 3 lakh rupees is counted 2 times. Here 2 lakh, suppose here we are taking 3 lakh rupees. So 1 lakh rupees is also included. So 1 lakh rupees is counted twice. Similarly, if we take 7 lakh rupees, in 7 lakh rupees, 3 lakh rupees already included. It means we are taking 3 lakh rupees 2 times. That's why in order to avoid double counting, what we have to do? Out of 7 lakh rupees, we have to deduct 3 lakh rupees, which is intermediate goods. For biscuit producing company, the sugar is called intermediate goods because sugar is used for further production. Sugar is used for producing biscuits, sugar is used for producing cake or pastry. When sugar is purchased by us directly, then it is called finished goods. But when sugar is sold to biscuit producing companies, then it is called intermediate goods. So in order to avoid double counting, what we have to do, out of 7 lakh, out of total production 7 lakh, we have to deduct intermediate goods, which is of 3 lakh. It means actual income earned by biscuit producing company is 4 lakh. Now actual national income is 4 plus 2, 6 plus 1, 7 lakh. So whenever we are calculating national income, what we have to do, out of total income we have to deduct intermediate goods which we are purchasing from the previous industry or previous individual. It means intermediate goods are not included in national income, and in order to avoid double counting, what we have to do, we have to deduct intermediate goods from the total production. Now what is finished goods? The finished goods are those goods which satisfy our wants directly or which satisfy the wants of consumers directly. Only money value of those goods are taken into national income. Intermediate goods, the value of intermediate goods are not to be taken in national income. Reason, in order to avoid double counting. In order to get true national income, in order to get actual national income, what we have to do, we have to deduct intermediate goods, value of intermediate goods from the finished goods. So once again, before attempting second method, only monetary value, means money value of finished goods are taken for calculating national income. Important point. Total there are two types of goods, intermediate goods and finished goods. Intermediate goods are those goods which are used for further production, means intermediate goods are such goods which does not satisfy the wants of consumers directly. That's why such intermediate goods are not included in national income. In order to avoid double counting, we must deduct intermediate goods from the total income earned by a particular industry. Finished goods are those goods, finished goods or final goods are those goods which satisfy our wants directly. That's why such goods are to be taken into national income. Now second method. Second method for calculating national income. Second method is production method. Production method or output method or value added method. These are different names of second method. Production method, output method, production is also known as output, and value added. Now what is the meaning of value added? Discuss later on. Production method, output method, value added method. Now formula or steps for calculating national income through production method. First, production by primary industry, all, or we can say whole economic activities are divided into three parts. So production by primary industry, or we can write value of output. Output means production, and here we have to take monetary value. So value of output, output means production, value of output by primary industry. Suppose here we have to take amount value. Whatever goods, once again primary industry means agricultural sector. Primary industry, agricultural sector. So whatever goods are produced by agricultural sector, goods produced means output, and its monetary value is called value, value of output. Suppose this amount is given, so value output by primary industry second, plus same value of output by secondary means industrial sector, secondary industries. Here we have to write amount. Third one is value of output produced by service sector, means tertiary sector. Now after adding, these are the total production by these three sectors. Total production is called gross value of output produced. Gross value of output produced at market price. Whatever value comes, it is known as gross value of output produced at market price. In short, you can write, remove produced, gross value of output at market price. Now first term, why it is called gross. Second one is why we are writing value of output. Second and third point is why we are using market price. First, for gross, why we are using gross? When we are producing food grains in agricultural sector, goods, finished goods in secondary sector, we are using various types of fixed assets. In accounts we have done fixed assets or non-current assets. For example, machineries. When we are using machineries for production, what happens at the end of the year? The value of machineries falls down. We are using machinery, that's why its value falls down, and decrease in the value of fixed asset is called depreciation. And depreciation is a loss for the company. For a company or for any business unit, it is a loss. Depreciation is a loss. So right now we have not deducted this loss, depreciation loss we have not deducted from this value. Till then we are not deducting depreciation value from this total value. It is called gross. Till then we have to use gross. Second one is value of output. Output means production. Whatever total productions done by primary industry, secondary industry and service sector, total production, we are taking the value of total production. That's why monetary value of total production. That's why we are using value of output, means money value of total production. Why we are using market price? We all know that whatever goods we are producing in factory, so rent we are paying, then interest we are paying, then wages we are paying to laborers, and last profit is included. Profit is of entrepreneur. Addition of all this is called factor cost. When we are sending these goods, whatever goods we had produced, when we are sending it into the market for sale, we have to add net indirect tax. I have already told you about the net indirect tax which we have to pay to government. So whenever any goods is to be sold in the market, we have to add indirect tax in factor cost. When we are adding indirect tax in factor cost, it becomes market price. So here we are using market price. So in short, it is called GV, value output, O market price, MP, GVO MP. Right now keep till here, then later on we will discuss in next video lecture.